Hi, I'm Father Michael Orsi. I'm speaking to you today on behalf of Believers and Ballots, encouraging you to vote on November the 3rd. This is one of the most important elections in our history, and how this election is decided is going to have an effect on how we live our lives, going to have an effect on human life itself, and on religious freedom. There are certain issues that we must discuss, and we must vote correctly because they have a tremendous impact on our country and on our faith itself. First of all, the main issue is the issue of abortion. Over 875,000 babies are aborted each year. That's without counting those who die because of chemical abortions. We know that one party is a great supporter of choice, meaning the continuing killing of innocent life. The other party says, no, it is wrong. Some believe that certain issues outweigh other issues. However, according to the United States Conference of Catholic Bishops, the preeminent issue is the issue of abortion, and it outweighs all of the other issues. Some say, well, what about capital punishment? Well, let's put it very succinctly. This year, 22 people were executed because of crimes they committed in 7 states. How does that weigh against 875,000 babies compared to the small number of executions? Also, some say there are issues concerning immigration. And of course, that is a prudential judgment. How we allow people to come into this country is something that over the years we will have to learn the best way, the safest way for those who want to come and for those who live here. The second issue has to do with what is called the Equality Act. The Equality Act has gone through Congress, and it means basically this. It means that those people who consider themselves to be LGBTQ+, that they would have the same rights as those rights accorded in the 1964 Civil Rights Act, which applied to men and women, and to people of different races. Now, anyone who is LGBTQ would be accorded those same rights, and institutions that, because of their religious beliefs, would be forced to keep them in their employ, and in doing so, it would contradict the very mission for which they exist. Could you imagine having an LGBTQ+ person teaching in a Christian school, in a Catholic school? Religious freedom is at stake. I also want to mention to you that Kamala Harris, who's running for vice president, had a very interesting encounter with a Judge Brian Bucher. She was interviewing him in a judicial hearing for an appellate court position. She said, "Judge, you are a member of the Knights of Columbus." And she thought that that would create a conflict with his judicial duties. Why? Because the Knights of Columbus are pro-life and pro-family. This is a religious test, which there is no religious test in our Constitution. Therefore, if a certain party gets elected, there will be a great endangerment of religious freedom. The third point is this. Once again, it has to do with LGBTQ+ type people. Recently, Vice President Biden said that he would have no problem with an 8 to 10-year-old child making a decision as to what gender they want to be. Do you know what that entails? It entails pumping a child up with harmful chemicals and hormones, and then to do a surgery which would actually mutilate the child. When we talk about LGBTQ or children who are psychosexually confused, we must keep in mind that oftentimes the confusion ends when they reach puberty. And the cases that we do have, those people who have gone through this elective mutilation and hormonal treatment, many of them have serious psychological problems and end up themselves being suicidal. So I encourage you to please, to vote your faith. Vote what you know to be right according to the law of God. As a matter of fact, even if you're not a religious person, vote common sense. because this election can and will make all the difference in the world as to how we live as American people and for the well-being and welfare of our children. Thank you, God bless you, and vote